Hey everyone, Shabim here and welcome to a video where we're going to showcase some of the best bargains you can get for League 2 on a FIFA 20 career mode. Now all these players should be available for under £500,000 or less. Now a lot of the players are worth less than that anyway, but some of them that are a bit more expensive we can get for that price by utilizing our player swaps function as efficiently as we can. Now if you don't know much about that, I suggest you stick around to the end of the video and I will show you exactly what I mean. But first of all, we are going to go through the list of players that we have found. Now all these players do have a potential of at least 80 and they are all available in the very first transfer window. So first of all, we've got two goalkeepers to pick from. Luis Ureta, a Chilean goalkeeper from CDO Higgins, which sounds like an Irish pub if you ask me, to be honest. 620 to 940 is what they want for him. But like I said, if you utilise your player trades well, you'll easily get this guy for around about 200-300, even cheaper than that, to be honest with you, if you get the right player to trade with them. But an 80 potential goalkeeper, very effective, someone you can use for many seasons. The other goalkeeper option we've got is Christian Fruchtel from Bayern Munich. He has an 82 potential. This one might be a bit trickier for player trades, but it is possible to do. But if not, then it's not the worst to pay around about £870 for 870 grand for a goalkeeper of this ability, who will slot straight into your League 2 team straight away. 65 rate is pretty good for that level, and of course will have an 82 potential, so will last you for a good 5 or 6 seasons in this career mode. Next up then onto the defenders. First of all, Kevin Moreno from Deportivo Cali. One thing you are going to notice from this list is there's a lot of Colombians. Kevin Moreno has been a player that I've been buying for a couple of years on this game in these sort of Road to Glory career modes from League 2. 750 to 1.1 million. Again, if you utilise your trades correctly, you'll be able to get this guy for under 500k easily. Very good player. Pretty damn solid. Look at that 82 strength, which is fantastic for a 19-year-old. Next up then, Thomas Verklek. Pretty decent stats. 18 years of age, 650 to 940,000 pounds. Again, utilising your trades, you will manage to get this guy cheaper. Pretty damn good, solid centre-back potential of 80. I forgot to mention Moreno's potential is 81. Vlek is 80. So that's two pretty damn solid defenders you can buy to put alongside each other in the very first window. Next up, we're going to skip Ferguson for now. We're going to go to David Botella from Pescara. 820 to 1.1 million. Again, utilising your trades well, you will get him for better than that. He's only on 500 weekly wage as well, so he could be an absolute steal for you. Stats-wise, again, pretty solid for this level. Has a lot of growing to do, don't get me wrong. He's only in the 60s with his tackling ability. Good jumping. Stamina isn't great, but for a centre-back, that's not overly important, I think. But jumping's pretty good. So, you'll be a solid player to start with. And a good centre-back as well, like I said, potential of 80. The last centre-back we've got here is Maxence Lacroix. He is also a 63 current with an 80 potential from Show. I think that's how you pronounce it. Soch? I don't know. Either way, pretty solid player. Look at those stats. 83 strength, 77 jumping, 72 sprint speed. I'd say that of all the defenders, he's probably the better one. He's absolutely, wow, he's top level really, isn't he? He's got a lot of technical ability to work on, but you can do that through player trading quite easily, to be honest with you. And before you realise it, he's going to be pretty close to a 70 and that real solid defender for this level. Right, let's go back to Nathan Ferguson then, because we held off on him because he can play right back, and that's what I would suggest. There's not many great right backs on this list available at this point in time in League 2, so we've got two we can use, one of them being Nathan Ferguson. As you can see, pretty decent stats, nothing amazing at this point in time, but pretty well balanced for a 63 rated player. 590 to 960k, again, utilising your player trades will be a very easy player to get a hold of. And his player wages at 2k, which is a bit more expensive, but normally they will take a bit of a pay cut to come down to that level. A solid player with an 81 potential, so a decent right back who's going to last you for quite a few years until you manage to pick up one of the more expensive options. Next up then, the other right back option is Nathan Wood. Again, can play centre back alongside a right back. The issue with this guy is he's only 61, so he's a really sort of lower rated player for League 2, but I'm sure he will progress pretty quickly. 360 to 610, so you don't even need to use a player trade for this one, but it can be done to make that deal even easier for you, really. Stats-wise, like I say, he's only a 61, sorry. He does have pretty decent 71 sprint speed, which could come in handy if you come up against some very quick strikers, I suppose. But again, a pretty solid player with an 82 potential that can definitely play right back as well as centre back. Next up, then we move on to our left backs. First of all, we have got Aaron Hickey. Now, he is only a 60 rated. Does have some decent abilities. You can see he's pretty good all-rounder, not many weaknesses. And the weaknesses he does have are for positions that you're not really going to be that affected by. I mean, it doesn't really matter if he's got 33 long shots, does it really? Because you're not going to be using him with him. Although he can play centre mid as well. So as a bench player for the first season, he is pretty versatile. He does have a potential of 80. Very cheap deal because you can get him for between 390 and £500,000. So this is probably one of the biggest bargains you can get. But that 60 overall current means that he's going to be a little bit weak to start with. But if you can progress him quickly through player training, or just doing well in matches, then he really could be a force to be reckoned with in those lower leagues. And again, like I said, from the bench, a very effective player because he can play left back as well as centre mid as well. The other two options at left back also play left midfield. Once again, there's not many left midfielders on this list, not any sort of ones that are at a decent price anyway. So we're going to put these both left back and left mid. The first one being Levan Karabadze. Again, 870 to 1.3 million, but again, utilising your player trades, you'll get him under half a million pretty easily. Especially if you're at one of the bigger clubs. I'm doing this career mode at Salford. We've got some really big players there, so player trading is going to be very, very easy for us. And like I said, I'll show an example at the end of this video as well. 63 current ability, a potential of 80. Pretty decent. He's got a couple of traits which are CPU only, so you won't really get the full effect of those. But he does have 83 sprint speed, good acceleration as well, and good stamina. So he can play left back and he can play left midfield. I potentially might play him as like a left wing back. That could be a good position for him. And he could be a very useful player for you. Early crosser and speed dribbler. Next up then, though, we have got... Oh, God. Mateusz Klich. I don't know if that's correct or not, but I had a punt it either way. 63 rated with a potential of 80. He, again, is 850 to 1.1 million. Again, a bit over half a million, but utilising your player trades correctly, you will get this guy for less than that. Now, the big thing about this guy, if you are playing this game, the big thing about this guy that I would suggest getting a hold of, is he the right one? Oh, no, maybe not then. I'm thinking of one of the other guys on the list. But he does have pretty good pace and acceleration, 83 and 83. So a pretty solid player who can play, like I say, left back and left midfield. I would suggest getting both Klich and Karabadze and potentially just playing one in front of the other, or even playing one as a wing back and having the other on the bench. Either way, they are both pretty effective players for you. Next up then, we're moving into the CDM slots. First of all, we've got Simon Som, available for between 380 and £520,000. He has got an overall of 60, but he has a potential of 80, so a very cheap option. Again, pretty cheap, but with player trades, you could get him even better than that. Looking at his stats, he's a pretty basic player. He's got decent stats and everything. Not a lot of weaknesses, apart from stuff, again, that are not really going to affect you too much in League 2, but will progress as time goes on. Long passer and playmaker, again, won't really affect you because they're AI only, so they only really affect you if you're playing against him. Looks like a pretty solid player, one that PJ Toby's picked up and said is a very good player as well, and one that I will definitely try and pick up in our career mode as well. A real bargain, and someone you can make a lot of profit on in the future. Next up, Andreas Balanta, current of 60, potential of 80 once again, 420 to 570,000. Again, with player trades, you can get that a lot cheaper. Looking at his stats then, he's a pretty basic player, pretty solid, nothing really outstanding, but he's going to be a useful player to sit in front of your defence and just help protect. Again, stats are pretty low in the positions that you don't really need them. I mean, finishing 38, dribbling 49, crossing 45. It'd be nice if they were good, don't get me wrong, but as long as he's got the correct ones you need, like short passing at 64 is one of his better stats. Defensive awareness at 62 is a good stat there at this level as well. So again, a player that's probably going to be a little bit under the level of League 2, but after a season or so, I think they'll definitely be up at the sort of level you need him to be at. Next up, Filippo Tolomello. 460 to 590,000 pounds. CDM and centre mid. Current ability of 61, potential of 80. Again, with player trades, you might be able to get that quite a bit cheaper. Looking at him, he is a pretty good player, but with pretty decent speed as well for this division. A CDM with 76 acceleration, 76 sprint speed is quite unique, to be honest with you. I think he might be better suited as a midfielder, but because his strength's not that good, but his short passing's pretty decent. Yeah, I think probably as a centre mid, to be honest, or a box-to-box midfielder would be the best option for this guy rather than a CDM, to be honest. But that's his position on the game, CDM, so you can use him there if you wish. And I suppose if you've got some pacey midfielders running at you, he's going to be a very useful player to try and block them off. Next up then, Jonas David, 80, 62 current ability and 81 potential. 640 to 840. Once again, with player trades, you will get him cheaper. Can also play centre-back as well as CDM. Stat-wise, 77 strength, which is pretty damn good for League 2. And strength is a very important stat this year. Good defensive awareness, good short passing, good ball control, good standing tackle as well. He's got everything you really need for a CDM slash centre-back, to be honest with you. So I'm quite impressed with this guy. No frills, but really a solid option for that position and a decent price as well. Next up, Andres Pereira, another returning name to these lists. 810 to 1.2 million. Once again, it's over our £500,000 budget, but with player trades, you will be able to get this guy for under that. I've done it myself on many occasions before in previous games, and it is also doable on this year's game as well. Looking at stats-wise, he's pretty solid. Good acceleration, good stamina, which is very useful for a CDM, because I've had in the past really low stamina defenders or centre midfielders, and it does get to you after a while. Not really giving much frills going forward, but good long passing, good short passing, good standing and slide tackle. Yeah, not really be much going forward though, is he really? Look at those stats. Shot power 48, long shots of 30. He's got poor vision as well, only at 49. So he's going to get you the ball back, but I wouldn't expect him to be that sort of anchor man that's going to start attacks from the back. He's more of a solid player who's going to get you that ball back and spread the ball out to your more expressive players to really get the ball rolling. But the one thing he does have ahead of a lot of the others is he's got a current ability of 63 with a potential of 83. So he's going to be very, very good in the future. Someone who could last you all the way up to the Premiership. Next up, they move into the right midfielders. First of all, we have got Andreas Amaya. He's got a 62 overall with a potential of 82. 570 to 780. Once again, it's over our budget, but with player trades, you will be able to get this guy quite easily for under £500,000. Looking at his stats, pretty solid. 82 acceleration, 79 sprint speed, really good balance as well. So if you're trying to weave in and out of defenders on the right or the left, he's going to be very, very useful for you. Can also play striker as well as right mid. So if you're looking for a pacey striker or someone on the bench to cover two positions, this guy is definitely going to be a fantastic option. Right, Mateusz Klich, 800 to 1.1 million. He's got a current of 63 with a potential of 80. But the one thing you're going to like about this guy a lot is this right here. 91 acceleration, 93 sprint speed. In League 2, that is going to get you a lot of places. That is really going to be useful for you. He has a little bit of an end product. It's not fantastic, don't get me wrong. He needs to work on his crossing and those sort of abilities, but you can do that in player training quite easily. But with that sprint speed and acceleration, that is going to gain you so much in League 2. It's going to be so effective. And again, price-wise, it's over our 500k budget, but with player trades, you will definitely get him for cheaper than that. Right, into the centre mids, then we've got Bali Mumba, 170 to 210k, the cheapest man on this list, but he does have an overall currently of 55, so he's not really going to be that effective to start things off unless you can get him heavily in training and progress him very, very quickly, which is doable. He does have a potential of 80, so it's really going to be a bargain for this one and a massive potential sale in the future, so definitely a big investment for you. It really is going to be a useful player to have a hold of. Like I said, he's not going to be great to start things off. He's not really that effective in anything, to be honest with you. But again, whack him in the training, train him up exactly how you want him, and you'll be surprised in a few years' time just how much money you can make off players like this. And then you can use that money to buy better players. So it's definitely worth it if you've got that little bit of money left in your budget at the end of the window. Next up then, Matti Daily, current ability of 59, overall ability potential-wise of 80. Pretty solid all-round player, nothing special. That stamina of 40 worries me quite a bit, to be honest with you. Interceptions of 39, so I don't think you really want this guy defending at all. 49 strength as well. Yeah, don't let him defend at all. But as an attacking midfielder, seems like he could be quite effective, to be honest. Again, he's going to need a little bit of training just to help him out, but looks like a pretty good player, to be honest with you. 330 to 360,000 pounds means he's going to be an absolute bargain. Just like Mumba, I'd pick him up definitely, because even if you don't like him long term, you're going to make a profit on him in the next couple of seasons, and you can sell him on for the money you need to buy bigger and better players in the future. Next up then, Max Bird, 460 to 590,000 pounds, 60 overall, with a potential of 82. Can play left back as well as centre mid, so again a very useful player you could have on the bench, but also a very useful player you can start as well. Fits in our budget nicely with player trades, you can get him even cheaper than that. Again, he's going to need a little bit of training because that level of 60 is not fantastic for League 2, but they do progress pretty quickly. Decent stats and a lot of things, not great strength, which is not great for a left back really. His interceptions is not great as well, so maybe you would want to play this guy as more of a centre mid than a left back, to be honest with you, but decent ball control, short passing, long passing. He's no frills, he's got the stats really basically where he wants them, but it would be nice if the rest of the stats were better as well, so get him in the training, get him bigger and better, and you'll be surprised you might make a profit on him, but with an 82 potential, I'd keep a hold of him, to be honest with you. Next up then, Mark Aguado from Real Zaragoza, 540 to 880,000 pounds. Again, with player trades, you will get that cheaper. A current of 62, potential of 82, so very useful player. Stat-wise, pretty good, all yellows. He doesn't really need interceptions and aggression, really, because he's more of an aggressive-looking midfielder, to be honest, rather than a defensive one. Looks like he might be able to set a few things up. You might need to get him in the training for stuff like his finishing, because if he does drift into the box to try and help out, that 49 finishing could hinder you quite a bit. And also long shots at 45 is not great either. But training him up, you should have a very, very good player here and someone you can sell in the future for a nice little profit as well. Moving up into the one cam we have on the list, and that is James Rowland from Shrewsbury, believe it or not. He is a current of 57 with a potential of 80. 210 to 250,000 pounds again, could be a real steal for you. A player that can progress in the future and make you some profit. Again, stats-wise, nothing amazing. Good sprint speed, agility and balance, and decent acceleration as well. And apart from that, you're going to need to train him up at his finishing, obviously, at 45. His long shots at 49 as well. So he's got pretty decent physical attributes, but those technical attributes you'll have to get in the training straight away. But you could end up with a very effective player very, very quickly if you train him correctly. And again, it's a player that you might not want to keep the entire career mode, but definitely someone you can make a big profit on in the future. Right, three strikers. First of all, we have got Julian von Moos. 59 current ability with a potential of 82. 320k to 410k. Again, with trades, you could make that cheaper, but it's a pretty damn good deal, to be honest, for a player with 82 potential. Plus, with the stats he has as well, a lot of green in those physical attributes. A lot of 70s, and exactly what you need him into well, really. He's a sort of quick, nippy striker. He might win you the odd ball up in the air, but I can't see it that often. I think it's more like the little through ball is going to get you your best options. 64 finishing, decent penalties as well. Again, you're probably going to need to train him up on the sort of stats that you need him to be better on. Get him in some finishing training and so forth, and before you realise it, he's going to be a very effective striker for you in League 2, and someone you can keep for a long time in this career mode. Next up, we've got Danny Loader, a bit more of an expensive option at 660 to 1.05 million. But again, with player trades, you should be able to get him cheaper than that, and hopefully for under £500,000. He's got a 63 current ability with a potential of 81. So Von Moos for me would be the priority, but if you're looking for something more here and now, this guy with his 63 current ability is probably the better option for now, but we'll talk about an even better option in a second. Stats-wise, pretty damn good physicals, a lot of greens in there. Can also play cam as well, so playing behind the strikers. Good ball control, good dribbling and finishing. Again, you probably want to train him up in some more stats just to make him a bit more of a well-rounded player, but will be pretty effective in League 2 for you either way. And the final player we have on our list then is Danilo Sican. Now, he's a bit more of an expensive option, but with the player trades, you should still be able to get him for under £500,000 if you have the right player to offer. He is a striker with a current of 63 with a potential of 83. So out of the 3 strikers, I would probably make this as your priority. He's going to be the best here and now for you, and he's also got the best potential as well. So I definitely think this guy is going to be a pretty good option. And with Von Moos as well as a backup, or Von Moos alongside him, maybe Danny Loader as a backup for the 2 of them. But this guy I think is the priority if you want to go that way. Looking stats-wise, 75 acceleration, 73 sprint speed is going to be pretty effective in League 2 as well. It's not the best speed you can get on the game, but it's pretty useful. 69 finishing means he's probably one of the better finishers on this list as well. But again, getting him in training is going to get him progressed a lot quicker, and you could have a very effective player on your hands. Right then, those are the list of what I've come towards as bargains for League 2. Hopefully all of them should be available for under £500,000 if you utilise your player trading correctly. Now, I'm sure a lot of you know what the player trading is all about anyway, but for those of you who don't know, I'm going to go through one now just to showcase how it is done. So let's just go with Danilo's Sikan, I suppose. We're going to go in. Of course, they wanted 830 to 1.1 million, wasn't it? So we're going to try and get him for under £500,000 by utilising the player trades. So the idea is you go into it, they want, his value is £700,000. So we're going to go to player swap first of all, and we're going to try and find somebody who's worth some money. So let's go straight in for Adam Rooney, for example. He's worth £525,000. And they are happy to swap Adam Rooney for Sikan, as long as we give them £360,000 on top. There you go, straight away, you've got under £500,000 for this player. But what you can also do is then you can continue to barter with them. Let's say, no, I want to give you £250,000 plus Adam Rooney. And they go, 280,000. And you're like, oh, you know what? I'll accept that. £280,000 plus a striker who's not got a great potential to bring in Sikan. Absolutely fantastic deal. And there you go. Before you realise it, you've really got a bargain on your hands here. You've replaced Adam Rooney, who's 66, with a player who's 63 with an 83 potential, and you're only forking out £280,000. If you can do that for everyone on this list, you're going to have a really, really good squad. Now, PJ Tovey, for those of you who don't know, is a friend of mine who plays a lot of FIFA as well. He has essentially built a team around roughly the same list. He managed to purchase 25 players in the first window by utilising the player trades and also selling a few of his players. Every single one of those 25 players he brought were at 80 plus potential, so it is doable. I'm also going to upload another video in a few days' time. I'm going to show you a team that I have built for a reasonable League 2 budget here with Salford City. So if you want to see that, then make sure you are subscribed. And of course, if you've enjoyed this video and found it helpful, then please make sure you do like the video as well. I've been Shabby Gamer, thank you much for watching, and I'll see you very, very soon for some more FIFA 20. Bye.